Hello and welcome to Engine Adventures. Today we've got this 2021 GMC Canyon AT4. The AT4 adds some Goodyear Wrangler Duratracs. These are 265 65 R17s, and I'll have to double check if those are the same as the Colorado, but you get a little bit of a suspension change, I believe, on these. I'll have to double check that. Gives it a little bit of higher ride height, and of course all the off-road goodies as far as downhill assist and the four-wheel drive transfer case. You don't get the front and rear lockers like the ZR2, but you do get the G80, I guess. So you've got some sort of locker there in the rear, which is better than nothing. Not a bad little truck. The V6, for some reason in the ZR2 it felt more underpowered to me, and that could have been because I was coming out of a Denali with a 6.2 into a ZR2 with that little 3.6 liter V6. I'll have to double check that. Anyway, I don't notice it as much as this in this. It seems more powerful than the ZR2 did for some reason. The highway cruising, no problem. I mean, I got an 8-speed transmission. It'll downshift occasionally, but for the most part you can cruise along 80 miles an hour, no problem in this. It does actually pass the fog light test, so you can see there fog lights are on, and just the LED running light things there are on. No, the headlights are not. So of course AT4, you also get red tow hooks. I still wish they were mounted up higher. The ZR2 is even worse than this. These ones you can actually see from the front, but the ZR2s were pushed way back under there. I'm not sure the AT4 is the off-road trim, and you get a really low chin spoiler there. Well, let's take a look under the hood, and then we'll take a look inside. All right. There you go, that V6 VVT direct injection. This one, I'll put the power numbers up on the screen, and it does seem to do okay. This cover's huge, but you can see there's actually a lot of space down inside of there. Hopefully it's picking up on the camera all right. Yeah, not much to say about that. Just the standard old V6 with 8-speed auto. You can get that 2.8 liter diesel, but it's a good engine for towing, not as much for, you know, higher speed off-roading stuff. Diesels, those little ones do a little better than the big diesels, but the rev range, just there's not a lot of range where there's power in them, and you run out of power kind of quick, or top end I should say. So if you're running through higher speed stuff. Inside it's pretty nicely appointed. Leather seats, heated steering wheel, heated seats of course, and Chevy does, you can heat the back or the back and the bottom. And of course GMC, similar setup, same setup. Does have the adaptive cruise control, and over here your four-wheel drive system, there is the 4 auto, which I'm in. So there's 2 high, 4 auto, 4 high, and 4 low. And the auto is good for bad weather and stuff like that. I just did it there because it was the next one over. I was in 2-wheel drive climbing a hill and needed just a little extra, so I flipped it to the auto, see how it would do. Normally I wouldn't really use that except for on-road. This one is equipped with nav, not too bad. The ZR2 just had the phone nav stuff. Sunglass holder, mine don't fit very well, but I think you can get them in there if you get it right. So it kind of smashes them. Anyway, mine are the Tifosi Jets, a little bit bigger than your standard aviator style glasses. Over here you have, well, let's start from the left, traction control. And in the Chevys, you push it once and let go, and you get just the traction control off. But then if you push it and hold it, let me go back. Okay, push it and hold it, and that was about 6 or 7 seconds. You get the electronic stability control off as well. So that's if you want to go do donuts and get crazy and stuff like that, you can flip it all the way off. It does come back on once you're over like 30 miles an hour or something like that. Other than that, this interior is pretty basic. I mean, you do have some charge ports and 12-volt outlet, whatever. You've kind of got some standard stuff and the wireless charging, which is nice right here. So it does have the wireless charging, and my phone is just a little bit too big with the case on it. This is a Google Pixel 3. There are much bigger phones out there, so even other phones without a case may struggle to fit there. This one does fit just enough that it can charge, so it works, but it would be nice to have just a little bit more space there, especially for people with larger phones. You don't have a lot of really nice amenities. There's no dual zone climate control, or even for the rear seats, there's not a separate for them, which in a pickup truck, who cares? But you also have no power rear window, which is fine. I can almost reach it. I can reach it, but it's a little bit of a stretch to get there. Back here in the rear seat, pretty basic as well. A couple power USB-A's and then a 12-volt. And let's actually take a look back there real quick. One thing I do like, look at the clearance on it. So you get these other big SUVs and trucks and stuff, and they'll have side steps. And this one's not hard to climb into, but luckily no side steps either to make it lower. Here in the back, it's pretty normal. There's not, like I said, not a whole lot going on. There's a map pocket on that side, but not this side. Cup holders are here in the doors, and of course in the center console. This seat does fold forward, but the whole point of that is to get to this anchor and this anchor if you have a child seat. Then they fold up, but you have to pull this lever, so 2 hands, and it locks in the up position. And then it's kind of a weird storage thing here as well. You get a little cubby on the side, huge plastic block there. It's just wasted space, and it's the same story on the other side. So underneath here on the opposite side, you'll find your jack, and then there's your tools. So I don't like this storage setup. They could have done a much better job. This truck is getting a little bit older. It's time for an update. So the next generation of it might have a lot more improvement in that area. Again, the bed sides, I like Chevy's new bed sides. These ones are, they have that hollow in here that's like 3 inches thick or whatever. I think if they update it, or when they update it, they'll probably make it similar to their full-size trucks. And yeah, it's just a normal size bed for this class. I mean, it's similar to the Ford Ranger and the Gladiator. The Tacoma, you can get a longer bed in. I think actually in this you can get a longer bed, depending on how it's laid out. But anyway, these beds on these trucks are quite small, but they're sufficient for a lot of people. Let's go over this Monroney real quick for the 2021 Canyon 4-wheel drive AT4 crew cab. So it does not get a lift kit, but I hope that's focusing. You get the off-road suspension package and auto-locking rear differential. The base price is exactly $40,000, and this one has a few upgrades. The GMC infotainment system with navigation, and that is $995. That includes Bluetooth audio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all that stuff. Then it also has the Bose premium audio for that part of that system. And then the other package it has is a driver alert package, lane departure warning, forward collision alert. And with the destination charge of $1,195, the total is $42,585. So I just realized I didn't go through the rest of the buttons. So the first one on the left, obviously traction control, your lane keep assist, parking sensors, 4-way flashers, trailer tow haul mode, downhill assist, and your cargo lamp on the rear. Complete stop, no brake torquing, just gonna flat foot it and go. A little bit of wheel spin. This engine runs so rough, kind of in that mid to upper range. 60. Not bad. I'll post the time up on the screen and the manufacturer time if I can find it. This engine, I had a 1994 Ford Thunderbird with the 3.8 liter V6. This thing in the mid to upper range feels just like that engine. As you get to the very top end, this one's definitely smoother, runs a little bit better, but for some reason there's like a vibration. It gets rough there in the middle RPM range. I don't know why that is. You can hear those tires here on the higher speed. We're going about 60 right now. I am going on a different route, so I probably won't get on the freeway right now to go even faster, but most of the noise in the cabin, you can hear wind noise and the stuff in the background, a little bit of engine noise, but the majority seems to be coming from the tires, or the loudest factor at least. So it's not overwhelming by any means. There's no issue with it. I could cruise in this thing all day long without a problem. It's probably, I don't know, it's got a really smooth ride. It's probably just a great, comfortable highway cruiser. If you throw people in the back seat, it's not as comfortable. So we had, when we did the ZR2, which has the same size cabin as this, we had a couple of 6 feet tall people in here, and the one in the back seat had enough room, but he felt a little bit cramped. So I'm a little bit shorter, but at 5'10", and I'm pretty comfortable, but sitting behind myself, I would fit in the back seat. But just, again, there's not a ton of room. Your knees are kind of like a 90-degree angle, and you can't extend them forward very much from that. So it's pretty controlled too on the road. So I've kind of starting to change my mind on this thing. The interior, it's the Chevy interior. It's a little bit outdated, it feels like. It's not terrible by any means. It's got a nice leather wrapped steering wheel. It's a very comfortable truck overall, but it's just something feels a little bit off. But the more time I spend with it, the more I like it. I don't know. This tends to happen as I get used to vehicles, but in this case, it actually is a pretty big difference, and I could see living with this every day, no problem. I don't see any issues with it. It wouldn't be uncomfortable by any means, or anything that would be too overwhelming that you would hate driving it. It really is not bad at all. So here on the Canyon, you don't get the trailer tow sticker like you do on the others, but you do get the payload, which is down here, of 1447. Not bad. Thank you for watching Engine Adventures review of this 2021 GMC Canyon AT4. If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications, and give me a thumbs up. Comment down below with any ideas or things that you would like to see. If you didn't like it and give me a thumbs down, be sure to comment down below and let me know why. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.